If the Pumpkin Spice Cafe disappointed you, then this is the autumn romance that you need to read instead. If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia was an absolute home run. This is set in a small town in Vermont between September and December 1997. So already we're really being set up for having these beautiful 90s cozy autumnal vibes. We're following Michelle, who's moved back to this small town to take over her mum's bed and breakfast. To do this, she enlists the help of her next door neighbor, who is a single dad and a baker called Cliff. This is what I think the Pumpkin Spice Cafe really wanted to be, but it just wasn't. If It Makes You Happy is so much better in every way. For a start, this book is over 500 pages long because sometimes it really is that serious. So automatically we are taking things a little bit slower, which for me is usually a winning combination. I love a slow burn, but slower than probably most people's definition of a slow burn. I like things to be painstakingly eked out. And in this case, the slow burn absolutely felt earned over those 500 pages. I didn't think the pacing was too slow or too fast. It didn't feel overwrought. It was perfectly timed in my opinion. Another reason why I felt like this was so much better than the Pumpkin Spice Cafe is that while we had points of view from both of our two main characters, they both felt like fully fleshed out people with their own individual character arcs. And the characters' flaws and their development didn't feel like a manufactured thing just to keep the plot moving forward. And can we talk about how refreshing it is to read a romance book that is actually romantic? And it doesn't rely upon lusty thoughts from both characters in order to build tension. Julie Olivia, in my opinion, was so good at building up that emotional tension without relying on the lust, but rather through genuine emotional connection and tiny moments between our two main characters that were just built up so beautifully. There were so many scenes in this book that I felt really illustrated this, but one in particular that comes to mind is that at one point there is a slow dancing scene and it was just so scrumptious. For my non-spicy gang, there are two scenes in this book that are spicy, but they are extremely skippable. They both happen at the end of chapters and there's nothing that's discussed during those scenes that actually adds to the plot. So you're not going to miss anything by just flipping past those. My final thought on this book is that it actually should be adapted into a movie. This, in my opinion, has the potential and the groundwork to bring back those 90s and 2000s rom-com vibes that I know all of us are missing. I rated this 4.5 stars, but honestly, the more that I've been sitting on this, the more that I'm tempted to just bump that up to a 5 stars. This is one that I think will work for so many people.